Okay, so the closer we get to November 3rd, the more frequent videos such as this will be popping up on the channel. The gentleman on screen is New Jersey State Senator Ron Rice. He's represented his district, my hometown, my home area, for the past, 35 years or so. And recently, his wife passed. So I want to give him just give a few seconds in memorandum and pay respect. Rest in peace, man. Now, with that out of the way, that bit of business out of the way, we have an article coming to us from Insider New Jersey. Rice demands movement on marijuana decriminalization bill. And this is coming out of Insider New Jersey's caucus room, which is just, golly. I like my state senator, okay? I've encountered Senator Rice multiple times. I actually like to feel like I've had a pretty big hand in turning him from a hard no on legalization to, hey, decriminalization, I bet. But they couldn't get it through the state Senate and through the state house initially, which is why it's on the ballot. Check yes. Get your constitutional right to choose for yourself if you would like to or not consume cannabis as a product. You are an adult. You have choices to make. And our government, particularly here in New Jersey, is so, accustomed to just your rights. Oh, your rights are toilet paper to these people, okay? They wipe their bums with them. And so, in turning Senator Rice to a decrim, he's still pushing for his decrim bill to go through because no. They don't want the legalization. The establishment ultimately does not want legalization, but if this is how they can get their hands on the revenue, right? Senator Ronald L. Rice issued a statement today on what he called the deliberate stalling by the state Senate and its Judiciary Committee to move the current comprehensive bill to decriminalize recreational marijuana. In February 2018, I introduced a bipartisan bill to decriminalize recreational marijuana as a compromise to avert the damage that legalization would have on a state so vulnerable to its harmful impacts on urban communities and their surrounding suburbs. Sir, the war on drugs, its entirety, the prohibition of it all has had more of a harmful impact than anything. Like we have tried it your way for 30 some change years, well over 30 years, and it has not produced the desired results. Along with other legislators and civic leaders committed to the welfare of communities of color, not black communities, not urban communities, but communities of color, I've fought long and hard for decriminalization to correct an unjust system that causes blacks and people of color to be arrested and incarcerated at 3 to 4 times the rate of whites for the same marijuana offense. Well, yeah, because they in the hood 3 to 4 times as much as whites. It is what it is. That's the thing. They've created this it's such a political, hotbed. And if me and Senator Rice were having this conversation in person, because we've had this conversation in person, he would just be like, "Oh, whoa, what are you saying? Are you saying I don't care?" Because when I said they were like, "Look, man, I'm looking at, like the foreclosures and all of these issues that stem from the dismantling of manufacturing in our communities and in economic mobility." And so, when you start to bring up these real life facts to them, they deflect hard as hell and be like, "Oh, well, I do," and get real angry. And in one case, I mean, this man, he dipped on me, bro. He found the closest white man. It was like, "I'm gonna get into a conversation with you, sir." And I'm like, "Whoa, okay, bet. That's how it is." I mean, we've had good conversations since then, but I mean, this guy, he's been like uber disrespectful to me. on several occasions. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that hasn't been the case, but I do like and respect him as an individual, and I do respect that he's been able to stave off, all challengers and, really solidify his power within the region. But when you look at the region, dude, balls have been dropped. This legislation is not an earth-shattering pivot that would turn our state on its ear or hurl us into chaotic upheaval. This is a simple, common sense, compassionate law that protects many residents. It levels the playing field so that blacks, people of color, and those unable to afford the same legal representation as affluent offenders do not find themselves arrested, incarcerated, and rendered unable to obtain work, housing, or even student loans. Once again, guys, theme on this channel: you are responsible for you. If you do not, there are ways to not get caught that a lot of individuals, particularly from these communities, don't like to adhere to. Nah, fam, come on. The current decriminalization bill, S2535, that I co-sponsor with Senators Ruiz, no, not the hot and spicy Latina. No, 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 no. Misa decriminalization, no here, no. Rice and Cunningham has been sitting in the New Jersey Senate Judiciary Committee since this past June 4th. I appeal to everyone in our state to consider why it has taken 2 years and 7 months to pass common sense, compassionate, just law. Could it be a structural bias entrenched in our state system of government and criminal justice? Could it have something to do with the greed of investors, insiders, and others who seek to profit by forcing the recreational marijuana industry into New Jersey? Bruh, tone deaf. Completely tone deaf. The nation's most densely populated state and most ill-suited to absorb the projected harm. Could it be a fear that somehow decriminalization would jeopardize the legalization referendum on November's ballot? Yeah. Basically. No. That's the thing. You can't get it to work regardless. If you wasn't able to get recreational to work through the state house initially, and you're the one that really threw a monkey wrench in that plan, thanks, because now we have it on the ballot. Now it becomes a constitutional amendment. Now it's a right that we can get back. Because here's the thing, Senator, and this is one of the reasons why, honestly, we need more debates in these areas. We need the real conversations going in these areas, because, sir, the effects of prohibition have been devastating. But you wanna and it's all been because the government wants control. And this gives the government less control than decriminalization does. And you just have no interest in allowing your constituency to think for themselves or be adults. Because most of your constituency are single mothers and big mas and the elder and all these old folks who've been around for forever and a day, watched the whole entire thing crumble and said absolutely nothing. Nah, man. Nah, I'm sorry. Golly. I like the dude, but I'm sorry. I've requested a meeting with Senate President Sweeney and Judiciary Committee Committee Chair Scutari to determine what motivation may be behind this blatant disregard for the 100 New Jerseyans, mostly poor, young, and minority, who are arrested for small amount of marijuana offenses every single day. It was bad enough last November when Governor Murphy lamented the arrest of roughly 600 individuals, proportionally of people of color, every week for low-level drug offenses. But today, if offenders survive the arrest without being shot in the... Oh my Christ! I gotta finish it. Yeah, I gotta finish it. But today, if offenders survive the arrest without being shot on the street, weren't you a cop? You was a cop, my guy. What are you doing? What are you What are you doing? What are you doing, Senator Rice? You were a cop. Like you the one that say and put like a lot of these laws. Oh, okay. No, we gotta finish this. They are at peril of being incarcerated in crowded prisons during they're in the CV. They're in this whole CV. It's like everything they like. This is why we as black people. This is why for 400 years we ain't got nowhere. Oh my goodness. We are subjecting pot smokers to all the risk of life and limb and making taxpayers pick up the tab because a bill concerning small marijuana charges languishes in committee. That's the thing. Don't you know? Like, I know I got police that watch, right? Police, yes, I say police. Police, please. When it comes to that small amount of a pot on a person, like if they do a pat down and they find a little bit of pot on you, most times it's just like, yo, they'll throw it, they'll dump it out, they'll throw it away and tell you to go about your day because it's just not worth the paperwork. Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? What is wrong with us? I demand that Senate Bill 2535 be considered by the Judiciary Committee immediately, or that it be reassigned to another committee and fast-tracked into law. Well, that's not particularly how government works. You've been in it for so long. You realize that's just not how that. You're like, I demand. Okay, whatever. I am further compelled to remind my colleagues and all residents of our state that the Black Lives Matter movement is more than a response to state-sanctioned violence to black bodies and anti-black racism. You're right. It's Marxism. It's communism. It's feminism. It's all of these different isms come together under the banner of internet intersectionality that leads people to believe that they have the right to burn, loot, and destroy. That's exactly what it is. So are you throwing around threats, Senator Rice? I wouldn't. I personally, I wouldn't be doing all that because that's what it feels like. Like, that's right, Black Lives Matter. And once again, he was a cop. Like, I'm confused here. It is a call to establish the full social, economic, and political justice needed for Black lives to matter in every way, on every level. Saying the man who's been in power for like 30 some change years. It's so weird. It's always the prominent ones, ain't it? It's always the ones that done made some of themselves sitting there talking about how, oh, Black Lives Matter. I'm sitting here making over $100,000 a year at this job, but yeah, I'm so oppressed. I have all these different advantages at my hands. Yet, oh my goodness, America, how could you treat me so wrong? Come on, man. Come on. For Black lives to be at ease, to breathe freely, and to flourish. But what happened to people of color? Life matters, guys. Life. It's golly. This is the guy that represents me. This is the man. And I like him. Like I said, I like Senator Rice. He's a sweet dude, man. He really is. And particularly if you're not at odds with him. But as a product of, your reign, sir, yeah, balls have been dropped. Balls have definitely been dropped. Man, guys. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. Check yes on November 3rd. All right. If you live in New Jersey, just look for it on the ballot. Check yes. Get your constitutional right back because people like this are happy to take them away from you with a smile and a lot of charm. But it's still a relinquishing of the right. It's relinquishing your right to choose for yourself because ultimately it's a bit more about the pot itself. It's about your right to choose what you want to do with your life, if you want to do it or if you don't want to do it. Not the government demanding, no. And New Jersey is super guilty of this. Super guilty. They could care less. And this was long before Murphy, too. As far as, oh, yeah, your rights. Oh, man, your 2A rights. Man, we're going to take those. Like all of them. Just Couldn't care less. So this is what we're up against, guys. And it's been a hell of a ride so far. We've got 2 more months to go. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it, like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from the Teespring and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Once again, you sit there, you throw around that like, hey, yeah, we're not, like, Black Lives Matter. It's not some empty threat. And, like, at this point, right, like, when you got the Kenosha thing, we got the Seattle, Milwaukee, everybody, like, they're trying to, like, really spark off all these different places. Sir, that comes across as a bit more of a threat than anything else. You know, like, we will burn this place to the ground. Like, bro, you're supposed to be a statesman, all right? A former cop at that. What are you doing out here, man? But you may disagree. You might be like, oh, yeah, Jay, yeah, this is totally the type of guy that I want to tell me how to live my life. Like, no, it's one of the reasons I'm not an advice channel. I don't know. I'm an entertainment channel, or try to be entertaining, because, like, advice, that's on you, buddy. You make that call, because everybody got their own calls to make. Anyways, you may disagree with that, and if you do, by all means, comments. Until the next one.